Yes, my dear friend, welcome back to the channel. This is Salon's Vlog, and I'm welcoming you in a very special way. It is late at night here, late in the evening, or in the night here in Southeast Asia, Malaysia to be precise. Well, even though it's late, we are still doing our job by delivering exclusives to you wherever you are. You are still in the afternoon in Africa, yeah, and in Europe, in America, you are in the morning. I'm welcoming you in a very special way. It is a special edition. Remember, most of our players are on international break. The few that are still in Cobham, some are on holiday, to spend a few days with their family before they come back together again as a team. But news is still coming on. A lot of news coming up every minute, every second. The players that are on international break, they'll be speaking to the media, the journalists, they'll be talking to their friends, and we are getting a lot of information from their various camps. Look, but one news that came up late last night, which I've not spoken about, is what I want to bring to you as the first on my list tonight. Well. Exclusive. Former Chelsea owner Roman Abramovich used offshore vehicles to fund tens of millions in football-related expenses that ought to have been paid for by the club, leaked files suggest. Experts say Chelsea could face point deduction. You know why I'm laughing? I'm laughing because even a club that had over 100 offenses, hundreds of offenses written down on paper, could not be punished. Chelsea, that is under a new ownership, and the old owner might have committed a crime. You want to now use the old owner's crime that you could not detect earlier when he was reigning. Now new owners, somebody used his own hard-earned money to buy the club, now trying to rebuild. You are talking about what? Point deduction from where? I want to understand this very clearly. Former Chelsea owner Roman Abramovich used offshore vehicles to fund tens of millions in football. Actually, I read somewhere that when we were about to buy William and Eto and some other one or two players, the agents demands of some payments. And so instead of the club to pay, Abramovich used his offshore account in Dubai or wherever to do the payment over £6 million or so to the agents. All those things were what was revealed. And that is what they are talking about. This is about 8, 9, 10 years ago issue. They could not come up with it until now. So the experts say Chelsea could face point deduction. Another one, our neighbor that we play with over the weekend, Manchester City, had over 100 of such issues. Hundreds. Documented. Nothing was done to them. Now they are bringing up Chelsea when these deals took place under the old ownership, not the new owner. Well, we wait to see their final recommendations or final investigation. Yeah, that is all you can say. If indeed there is any reason at all to sanction a club for any wrongdoing, then they should go back and sanction Manchester City first. Then Chelsea will be prepared to take it if they are to. If they are actually to do that to us, we will actually accept it if only they will go back and deal with Manchester City in the same way, because they have over 100 charges against them. They had over 100 charges against them, yet nothing was done. No point was deducted. Roman Abramovich may have broken the rules of financial fair play by making secret payments. Points may be deducted from Chelsea. We wait to see that day. That is just the breaking news. But I wait patiently to see that day that they will try to. My friend, it is a headache anyway. You can see the caricature somebody put there, and I posted it for you. Yeah, it is a headache. A point deduction, okay. Where we are now, you still want to deduct from our distance. Let's move on to other important news, Joe. Pat Nevan has been speaking, and this is what he has to say about Chelsea versus Manchester City game. He said Chelsea versus Manchester City was an instant classic. The unexpected nature of Chelsea's maturity, resilience, and at times brilliance added as much as the 8 goals and the constant breathless pace. Chelsea have been the Premier League's princess of possession this season. City are the kings, obviously, but there was still something missing from Mauricio Pochettino's side. On Sunday, they found it. A passion and a cutting edge, according to Pat Nevan. A passion and a cutting edge. Mauricio Pochettino's side finally found what? A cutting edge and a passion to play their game. Well, you know, my 2-letter words to them, 3-letter words, you ain't seen nothing yet. Or is it 4? You ain't seen nothing yet, because you're going to see more. You're going to see more of Chelsea. Yeah. All right. Official. Manchester City have announced a record-breaking revenue of £712.8 million, the highest revenue ever made by an English club. They also paid out record salary to £422.8 million to 520 employees. Ooh. Profit of £712 million. £712.8 million profit. How did they make it? How much money did they make from the Champions League that they won? How much did the FA give them? How much was the sponsorship deals that they made this last season? How did they come about this amount? I'm suspecting they massage the figures. So I know in football a lot of things can happen. They can massage the figures in order for them to have room to sign more players. You know, you make so much profit, you have more room to sign more players. FIFA rules, when you balance your books, profit and losses, that is where FIFA fair play comes in, financial fair play comes in. And so if they are declaring this amount of profit, it means they are telling us that next season or from January they can buy as much as they want to buy. That is a trick. What was their source of the money the profit that they made? Is it only the Premier League and the FA Cup that they won? How much did they make out of it? The Champions League, how much did they make out of the Champions League? Let me hear from you in the comment section about all that I'm saying. We are we're on international break, so some of these news we need to bring them out and digest them together. Let's get to know the facts around all these issues. All right, my dear friend. Yeah, if they made the highest revenue ever, £712.8 million, how did they make it? Is it through sales of players? They sold players and they made such an amount. If they sold players, they equally bought in some players, so it's no longer a profit. That can never be a profit. You sold and you buy. That can never be. You can only balance your books. But to record this amount of profit in a single season, a single year, we need to find out how that money was gotten. We need to find out whether they just try to massage the figures to please the bookmakers. Anyway, Cole Palmer is asked to compare Pep Guardiola and Mauricio Pochettino. Palmer was diplomatic. And you know the answer he gave? He was asked the question, and he now answered, next question, please. Next. Cole Palmer, Mauricio Pochettino and Pep Guardiola, which one of them is the best? A smile. Next question. My goodness. You don't want to answer. You cannot tell. You don't want to. Don't worry. Pep is your former coach. Mauricio is your current coach. And Mauricio is giving you room. 90 minutes every time. You play much more games under Mauricio Pochettino than you play under Pep Guardiola. So far. Yeah. 15 years of you staying in Man City. The game you play for the Guardiola and Mauricio Pochettino, you played much more games for Mauricio Pochettino than you played for Pep Guardiola. That is the record right now as we speak. This is what he said. After he said, next question, he said, obviously, you know how good of a manager Pep is. And he gave me the opportunity and platform to kickstart my career. So I will always be grateful to him. Who knows what will happen? Who knows what would have happened if I had stayed? Maybe I would have played more. Maybe not. But I think the decision to go to Chelsea so far is paying off. The decision to come to Chelsea so far is paying off. Yeah, he's speaking at the international break during their presser for England national team camp. He's speaking from there. All right. The last news before I let you go, and when I come back, we are going to be talking more about Victor Osimhen. Like I promised you in my last 2 videos. Yeah, we're going to be talking more of Victor Osimhen when I return. But this news is something which I need to call your attention to as we are in the international break and there are some transfer news that are popping up. Football lawmakers are considering introducing a 10-minute sign ban for players who show dissent to referees. I take that again and I will explain to you. Football lawmakers are considering introducing a 10-minute sign ban for players who show dissent to referees. Yeah. Football lawmakers are considering to introduce a 10-minute punishment. That means that you committed an offense, the referee will give you a yellow card and you go to the bench for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, the assistant referee now allow you to come back into the game. But for that period of 10 minutes, you'll be out of the pitch, you go back to your stand. After 10 minutes, you come back in. So your team will be playing 10 against 11 for that moment, which is being done in some other sports. It's been done in some other sporting activities. So we wait to see how that will pan out to be like. We wait to see. We cannot talk much about it yet. But the lawmakers are considering that. I don't know how. Instead of second yellow card, I would prefer that. Instead of second yellow card, that will result in you leaving the pitch totally. Instead of second yellow card, I think this would rather be better. Yeah. For the team to lose a player for 10 minutes out of the match, then come back. I think that should be better than the second yellow card, which results in a red card. Yeah. Unless the player comes back and commit another one again, then the red can be given. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Yes. Dear friend, let me leave you here. I will surely come back again with Victor Osimhen and more. Victor Osimhen and more. I'll see you when you see me. Shalom and peace.